Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight coming from Vietnam in the capital of Ho Chi Minh City, or most people here call it Saigon. Absolutely fantastic place. If you want to visit a country with friendly people, this is it. If you want to have cheap food, this is it. If you love seafood, absolutely, this is it. And of course, this will be the starting point for you, either Hanoi, or you can start via Ho Chi Minh City, and then you can start exploring Da Nang, Hai Phong, and really a fantastic place, rich culture, quite an interesting place. I also had a nice little boat tour last night on the river system. Absolutely nice, fantastic food, nice music, nice cruise along the river, looking at all these fantastic places. And of course I will link a couple of photos and maybe a short little video clip so that you can also take a look on what is to offer here in Ho Chi Minh City. And of course, like a good old Boy Scout, I came prepared. Not always sure what you can find with regards to whiskey in some of the countries. A lot of countries that we do go to, it's got this element of the core range that you can find, the Johnny Walkers. So not always easy to find a little bit of a specialist whiskey. And so I did come prepared, and tonight of course we are talking about Dingle Triple Distilled Single Malt Irish whiskey with an E. And I did run a poll about 2 weeks ago asking my subscribers what type of whiskies they would like. Cheap budget whiskies under 50, a little bit between 50 and 100, and of course when going a little bit crazy expensive. And I was quite surprised to see a lot of the people, 69% of the people, indicated that they actually would like between $50 and $100 or euros for a bottle is the price point that they are most interested in. Then next what came up is the budget whiskies, I think like 18%, and of course the more expensive, more than 100 or stupid expensive prices, and not a lot of people were interested in it. So this one is right on the border between the budget and between 50 and 100. And I've seen online you can pay maybe $50, sometimes a little bit less. My online store was 47 euros for a bottle, but I've seen quite a number of people advertising 50 to 55 US dollars or euros for the bottle. So it is a Dingle, and it is part of the core range. A young distillery, only started I think in 2012, so in the whiskey world is still a baby. When we look at the maturation, we're talking 39% ex-bourbon cask, and of course the whopper of 61% will come from maturation in ex-Pedro Ximénez PX cask. The sugar one, the sweet one. Of course I do like a little bit of a sweeter whiskey, something that does not have a lot of the tannins in it. So a young sweeter whiskey can be a nice one. Although my palate has changed a little bit over the last 2 years. I was chasing that sherry monsters, the sherry bombs. For me it is a little bit toned down now. I do like an ex bourbon cask whiskey a little bit more now, but I was quite interested in it. I didn't see a lot of reviews on it, and I saw an opportunity to buy one at my online store. So try it before you buy it type of thing, small little sample bottle. And of course I think I paid about €4.50 for the sample bottle. So if I don't like it, of course down the train, I don't care about it. I didn't spend that 50 odd euros for a bottle that is not nice, but it can be a nice one as well. It is bottled at 46.3% ABV. It is non-chill filtered, and coloring, I'm not so sure about that. They don't mention anything about coloring on the bottle, so if you don't mention it, there can only be a presumption on something, and I don't want to presume anything on this whiskey. So I'm just going to give that a quick review, and while I talk, I might add one or two pictures of my evening out last night to show you a little bit more of the river tour that we did on a nice boat. Absolutely fantastic, and it's very cheap to do it. And of course, seafood. So if you're not a seafood fan, it's going to be quite difficult for you to survive, I think, in this country. But I do love my seafood, and of course my biggest, the prawns. Oh, I need to stop. Anyway, on the whiskey itself, it is a little bit dark, and I find it in most hotels. I did find that the lighting is always a little bit bad, but of course, I think, what's the time now? It's 11 o'clock at night. Fantastic time to do a little bit of a whiskey review, maybe a little whiskey nightcap, something to help you sleep. So color-wise, it is a little bit of a golden color. Not sure if you can see, but there is a golden color. And of course, the glass. They need to invent a nice Glencairn glass that is maybe unbreakable. Maybe, I'm sure there is something that I can use to travel with, so that I can whip out a proper nosing glass. And of course, Glencairn, if you've got something like that, nudge, wink, wink, I'll be your ambassador to see how long it will last in your suitcase, flying from country to country. Of course, that will be a perfect opportunity for you to show us how good your glasses can be. Unfortunately, like I said, it is hotel glasses. Nice golden color, maybe a 18 karat gold. Natural color, not sure. The presumption is there, but I'm not going to do any of that. On the nose, it is lovely. It's a sweetness, and we expect that sweetness to come through with the Pedro Jimenez. There's a little bit of a woody note for me. There's a little bit of a citrus note. I did not expect that little bit of a citrus note on it. It's a little bit of a funky note, a little bit of a toffee note, a little bit of a furniture polish type of note for me. But it is sweet, definitely sweet, but as I said, Pedro Jimenez, it is very sweet as well. So I expect that, a little bit of a raisin note. That is quite nice, pleasant on. Even at that 40% or 46.3% ABV, even if I do a little bit of that shaky that Ralphie would not approve of, I don't get that punch of a young whiskey. It is a no-age statement whiskey. How old the whiskey is in it, I don't know. There's a little bit of an orangeness, a little bit of a orange juice, orange peel coming through. Quite nice. But anyway, on the taste, cheers. Again, with that, a little bit of that orange, the alcohol, definitely on the taste is definitely telling me it's 46%. It even feels a little bit higher than that 46.3%. So it's a little bit of an evaporation. No bitterness. So if it's matured in the Pedro Jimenez course, I'm not sure for how long, but definitely not long enough to get a little oaky bitterness in it. So quite pleasant on the taste. Just one more try. Sweet, raisiny, a little bit of a Christmas cake, a little bit of that orange rind in the Christmas cake. Now, not punchy, there's a little bit of a pepperiness forming in the end, quickly disappears, and it just covers your mouth with lovely sweet whiskey. A little bit more raisins, and now I get a hint of a oakiness, but just a hint of it. And I think it's in this one, it's a good thing to have a hint of that oakiness or a hint of a bitterness, because it is quite sweet. Now, would I add water to it? Absolutely not. But I think a little bit of a dusty note coming. But I think if you do add a little bit of water, a couple of drops will be perfect. Not a teaspoon, 3 or 4 drops. Maybe that will help to also to open it up a little bit. But for me, it is really nice. A little bit of a vanilla note also coming out. So, and the toffee note is becoming a little bit more elevated with a little bit of time in a glass. So, definitely something that I would consider buying in the future. I would definitely, a lot of my friends that like a sweeter whiskey will enjoy this one. And I think it is at 50 to 55 euros. It's not very expensive. Of course, there is some whiskies that you can buy for under 50, and some of them might even have an age statement to it, but it is at least elevated to 46.3% ABV, so I give them that. Maybe that will also give a little bit of an added value to the whiskey. But it's so, well, I don't like the word smooth, but with some time in the glass, it just invites you back and gives you an opportunity to find a little bit something different in it. But really nice on the nose. And on the taste, definitely I've got my stamp of approval. I do like it. They do have some other series as well. So I'm quite looking forward to finding out more on this young distillery. So thank you very much for watching. I see you next time. And as usual, remember to like and subscribe. You've come this far, and we are ticking towards that 1,000 subscribers. So like and subscribe, and of course you will help out this small channel. So see you next time. Cheers.